Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie, and today we're doing the second part of my April book haul. So I kind of thought this was going to be bigger because I bought a lot of books in April, but obviously with delivery times being impacted by the virus, a lot of them haven't arrived, which is fine. They're not, like, I'm not in a super rush for them. But yeah, I kind of broke this down into 4 different sections that worked really well. So yeah, there's not a whole lot here. I am hoping, or I'm planning, trying to go on a book buying ban for May. At least, to kind of curb the buying a little bit, even if I go the first week and a half without buying any books. That would be great. I did have less books arrive in April than I have any other month, and I also ended the month with less books on my TBR than I started, which is a first for this year. But without further ado, let's get into the books. Like I said, 4 different piles. Let's start with new releases because that is the smallest pile. So I have 2 here. I have Stone Sky Gold Mountain by Marandi Rual. This is one of my most anticipated books of the year. I talked about it in my Aussie anticipated reads. I've done 2 parts. I talked about it in the first part. I haven't had the chance to pick this one up yet, but I'm hoping to sometime this month. Like I said, really excited for this one. And then the other one I got was Almost a Mirror by Kirsten Krauth. I met Kirsten at a Clunes Booktown Festival the very first year I went, in like 2011, 2012, something like that. Really, really early on. I think it might have even been 2014? I don't know. One of the years I went, one of the very early years. She was one of the nicest authors that I've met. So when I saw that she had a new book out, I grabbed it straight away. So also excited about this one. Don't really know a whole lot what it's about, but it does say that it moves between the Blue Mountains, Melbourne, Sydney and Castlemaine. And Castlemaine is a town right up by Clunes. It's a small country town here in Victoria. So very excited to read that one. Let's jump into some YA. I feel like I haven't really been buying a lot of YA, maybe? I don't know. I have 3 here. I made an order with the book grocer because I think there was like 1 book that I wanted, and I managed to get like 6 of them somehow. They slipped into my cart, officer. I don't know how it happened. So I have The Big Lie by Julie Mayhew. This is a book about what would have happened if the Nazis took over England. So this is set in Nazi England, 2014, and it's about a girl called Jessica, and I believe it's about, it's like your standard dystopian. She finds out what's wrong with the world and tries to fix it. These 2 are also from the book grocer. I got The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Chichoke, perhaps. So this is about young women who are like assassins. Yeah. They're hired to kill quickly, quietly, and mercifully. And only women in this world are allowed to do that. So, that should be interesting. I also got Blood Air by Amelie Wenzel. I was really interested in this one when it was first being announced, and of course there was a bit of controversy about this when it was released. The author pulled the book, and then I believe it's been reworked and has been published now. I grabbed this one because it was like $5. I don't really like the cover, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it. So if I really enjoy it, then maybe I will splurge and buy myself the nicer cover. But for now, yeah, $5. I was like, I'll give it a go. I feel like it's kind of been YA fantasy. I've kind of not really been reading a lot of it. So, yeah, I feel like getting that might be a nice way to kind of dip back in and see if it's... I haven't really been reading much YA at all this year. So it might be kind of a good way to just kind of slip back into things and see how I do. Next up we have some poetry. Two of these technically, so with my book hauls I work out the month that they arrive, and that's when I count them. So two of these technically arrived today, so May, but I thought that I might as well share them now rather than having them just like stuck up here waiting to be hauled. But another one that I got from Book Grocer was Nefertiti in the Fleck Tower by Clive James. So did I mention that this section is all poetry? I have 3 poetry books. So yeah, I got this one because Clive James is an Australian poet that I hear a lot about. I have already read this one, gave it 3 stars. I thought that his poetry was very beautiful, and I can see that he really knew what he was doing, but I just felt absolutely no emotion. And for me, that's a big thing with poetry. That's how I decide how much I enjoy the poetry, is by how it makes me feel, and not so much of the technical side. These next 2 are also Australian poets, and they're 2 new releases. We have Throat by Ellen Van Nieuwen. This is I think it's her second poetry collection. I read her first, Comfort Food, last year, so really excited for this one. And then I also got Firefront, which is First Nations poetry, Empower Today by Alison Whittaker. So this is a bunch of essays with poetry as well. So it's an anthology. There's a bunch of different authors doing essays. So there's like Bruce Pascoe and Ellie Kobe Ackerman, Chelsea Bond, Evelyn. It's also got some really awesome poets in there. We've got Archie Roach, Alexis Wright, Claire G. Coleman, and we've also got Ellen Van Nieuwen in there as well. So really excited. I think I might read these ones back to back. That seems like it could be a good idea. We're on to the last section here. And these are adult, is what I've classified them at. So first up we have my pick for this month from Secret Book Stuff. I talked about them a little bit in my haul for March. It's like a blind date with a book sort of thing. You tell them the sort of books and authors that you like, and they send you out a book every month, or depending on, what you choose. But this month I got Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. So I'm actually really impressed by their picking because a couple of years ago I went through a phase where I read a lot of Marquez's work in a very short period of time. I didn't get to this one though, so I'm very excited to give this one a go. And yeah, we'll see how we feel. It's a bit of a weird cover, like you can see things that, you know, I don't really need to see on a book cover, but there you go. Next up, also from Book Grocer, I got a copy of Last Things by Jenny Offal. Her book Weather was nominated for the Women's Prize. I haven't been able to get myself a copy of that at the moment, but I got this one because I heard it was still a good book and that she's just an interesting author. So it's nice and short, and I don't know whether I might hold off on this one until I've read Weather, or whether to read this one first. If anyone has read any of hers, I would love to hear what you think. Next up, speaking of the Women's Prize, I have Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. So this was shortlisted for the prize, and this is about Hamnet, which is like Shakespeare's son, and it's about about his twin sister who is apparently sick, and yeah, it says, above all, it is the tender reimagining of a boy whose life has been all but forgotten, but whose name was given to one of the most celebrated plays ever written. So very excited for this one. Absolutely stunning cover. And I'm definitely going to be picking that one up in the next few days, and I'm so excited. But finally for this haul, we have Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is a fantasy, adult fantasy. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I have been recommended by this. I have been recommended this by a couple of people. I think quite a while ago I put out a call asking for fantasy books that were kind of like Game of Thrones, for my brother who really loves Game of Thrones and is more of an audiobook listener than a like physical book reader. So I wanted something with a really great audiobook, and this got mentioned like 3 or 4 times. People also said it was just an amazing story, so I'm gonna read it as a book, a physical book, and if I really enjoy it and I think that my brother will, then I will buy it for him. I'll use his Audible credit for him and get it. And yeah, I'm really excited. I hope that I like it. Maybe I'll even convince my brother to like listen to it while I read it. That might be fun. He's got nothing else to do at the moment. Yeah, really excited about it. So yeah, that's my second part of this haul. I know that for some people this seems really big, but yeah, I kept like thinking that like yesterday all of the books that I had ordered were gonna come in, and I was gonna have this like huge thing to do. So I'm really happy that they didn't, and that this looks a little bit more manageable for now. But thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know what you think about sitting in front of my bookshelves instead of on my couch. I did this when I first moved into this house, but then I went to sitting on the couch because of my legs. But I feel like maybe every now and again it might be cool to do a video here for a little bit of change of pace. And also I would love to know what you think about wrap-ups, because I just really haven't had the motivation to film them like this year at all. And I was thinking about maybe in May trying to do like a vlog style wrap up, but let me know what you think. Let me know if you have a particular way of doing wrap-ups, especially if you read a lot of books. I usually read about 20 a month, and I found that wrap-ups aren't that fun to film when you've read that many books. So please let me know any ideas that you might have. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you on Monday. Bye!